Welcome to Kermode Uncut, where it's time to count down my top 5 least favourite films of 2014 so far, the months January to June. And what an extraordinary list it is. So let's kick straight off with number 5. At number 5, The Canyons. Now, it gives me no pleasure to tell you that Paul Schrader has directed, in my opinion, one of the worst films of the year, but the fact is, he has. It's a movie which co-stars Lindsay Lohan and James Dean. Not James Dean, the dead film star, but James Dean, the porn star, who incidentally in this film is a better actor than Lindsay Lohan. They play annoying people living in glass houses in California at whom you will want to throw bricks. The script is by Bret Easton Ellis and demonstrates definitively that he is a one-trick pony. When the film came out and I reviewed it, Paul Schrader took to his blog to complain that I was not fit to review his film. I'm very proud of that.
I don't know, I guess maybe it's just not my thing anymore.
On to number 4 in my worst films of the year, and in at number 4, it's Hello to Adam Sandler. It really wouldn't be a worst films of the year list without Adam Sandler. So far, his lead entry is Blended, in which Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore go to South Africa. Why? Well, I presume they're having a nice holiday. Remember the story about Michael Caine signing on for Jaws 4 because he opened the script and it said, "Fade in the Bahamas"? Well, I thought that's what had happened with Blended. And you know what? According to the lead cast, that's exactly what happened. So at least they had fun, which is more than we did.
We're out of gas! Start running fast! Get those legs going!
At number 3, Ridealong, an action comedy notable for its lack of both action and comedy. The most depressing thing about Ridealong is that in America it was a massive hit. In fact, I did a blog earlier on in the year about how well the American box office was doing, and one of the reasons it was booming at the moment is down to movies like Ridealong, which speaks very badly of the state of modern cinema.
This is crazy! Relax! You got 5 seconds to throw it back? This ain't no damn video game!
So we're nearly at the top spot, or rather the bottom spot, in my worst films of 2014. And at number 2 is a film which I think many of you would have thought would have topped the list. Bear in mind, the list goes January to June, so it doesn't include Transformers: Age of Extinction. That was released after June. But at number 2 in my list, Mrs. Brown's Boys, the movie. They didn't screen the movie for the press, and I understand why. The movie took a huge amount of money, and I have absolutely no idea why. In fact, here is my expression throughout the entirety of the screening that I saw of Mrs. Brown's Boys.
Anything else, love?
Which brings us to the number 1 spot, my least favourite film of 2014 so far. And bear in mind, when you're assessing how bad a movie is, you really have to weigh up the potential with what it achieves. There are some films you just know they're going to be terrible from the outset, but that couldn't be said of Grace of Monaco, starring Nicole Kidman, directed by Olivia de Havilland, with supporting cast including people like Tim Roth. It all looked so good on paper. So why was it that when the film opened at the Cannes Film Festival, it got itself the reputation immediately of being the worst film ever to play at Cannes? And frankly, that is really going it some. It is, in fact, every bit as bad as everybody said. Nicole Kidman's performance is a career worst. She spends the entire film looking like somebody who has just fallen flat on her face, which indeed she has. There were fights between the director Olivia de Havilland and Harvey Weinstein. Olivia de Havilland branded Weinstein's cut of his film a piece of shit. Frankly, he's one to talk. It is, so far, my worst film of 2014.
Have you thought that de Gaulle is looking for any excuse to take Monaco, even if it means turning you against me?
So that's it, my best and worst films of 2014 so far. What were your lists like? Tell me what I've missed. What are the films you really loved? What are the films you really hated? And what are the films that you are really looking forward to in the second half of the year?
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part